All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Headstrong podcast. I am super excited to have a very special guest on today. I'm more excited because I've had the opportunity to watch this man's growth over 5, 6, 7 years, I want to say. It's been a long time, and I've seen so much development and growth with what he's been doing. And it's really powerful and impactful. And I'm just excited for you guys all to get to know him a little bit better. So, welcome, Q, AKA Q the Rebel. Welcome to the Headstrong podcast.
Man, I am excited to talk to you right now. I'm so proud of you. You're so proud of me. I'm more proud of you because of like the directions that you take. And if anyone knows you well enough, you put 100% in everything you do and you excel at it like no tomorrow. It was like real estate degree license, higher education, pro tennis player. I mean, what else do you not do, dude?
That is so funny you say that. Yeah, it's like we connected so far back, and like we kind of haven't really got a chance to fully connect since. We just kind of watch each other from afar. And it's just so cool to get a chance to speak with you. But I think everybody wants to know a little bit about you. So can you give everybody a little bit more about who you are and what you do, and we'll dive in?
Sure. Well, full name, my name's Quron. That's my name. My name has power with it. So I say, hey, you can call me Q. Most people know me as Q, but most people know my artist name is Q the Rebel. And I mean, I'm an artist in very many facets. It started with the music when I was 10 years old, played sax, piano, and now I play 7 different instruments.
Whoa.
Music became the film world, which now I direct short films, music videos, documentaries for a lot of celebrities and people that we know today. But I tell myself, if I can't hear it, I can't see it. So because of my musicianship, that's what allowed me to be such a great filmmaker. And now, I'm a small business owner. Well, shouldn't say small now, but I've been actually mowing lawns since I was 16, but it was my dream to actually have a legitimate family business. And my father's retiring next week. It's crazy.
Whoa,
So,
next week.
Yeah, so it's his birthday's next week, and his birthday gift was for me to open up an LLC called Ron and Sons. And we're running a fully functioning family business for landscaping. We do mulching, we do concrete, a lot more than just cutting grass, a lot more. And I'm just excited to have something under my dad's name to have when we pass to our family and pass to my daughter and et cetera, So a Renaissance man. My best friend says, yeah, you're a Renaissance man. So that's what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is so powerful because, speaking about being a Black owned business, being able to really pass things down is so critical because it's one thing to work for somebody, be very successful, but when you have your own thing, that's so cool that you're able to create that concept and then get your dad involved with it and everything. And it's just it's going to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
For your future, for the future cues around.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Trust me, I plan to have more kids. I mean, I love children, but I'm more patient and I'm able to understand, as a young king, like how to grow my kingdom and what to have and what to develop. So, my daughter now, Aria, she's like in the truck looking, can I help? Can I? And I help her pick up like some of the brushes and stuff, but, she's got her mask and gloves and everything. So it's cool. But she's seeing it and I know it's just like, I told my dad, I was like, man, I used to watch my dad work for the city of Baltimore. And I was like 7 or 8 years old. And I used to ride on the little, the dolly. He used to put me on the back of the dolly. I used to ride around on it. But it's cool because now I see my daughter watch me, she sees me do several things. And she's like, wow, Dad. She told me the other day, she's like, wow, Dad, you're doing the grass and then you're making the movies. And she's like, you're doing a lot of stuff. And I was like, I know. I want you to see all of it because I want you to be able to have the same things. I just don't want her to fight hard and struggle as much as I did. I want things to be fluid for her. She's going to work hard, of course, but I do a lot of this for her, man. It's really for her, So.
Well, let's take it way back. You talked about struggle. You talked about starting from a place. Walk us through a little bit of like what your childhood was like, and would you say that your parents were really integral in a lot of the success you have today, or kind of what happened there?
I say probably. I remember growing up. My dad at the time was in a bad position, and he was incarcerated for a couple of years, unfortunately. So me and my mom kind of grew up. I grew up like in the heart of Baltimore, like the Wire, East 20th and Greenmount. If anybody knows that in Baltimore, that is the grittiest place to be. but most of my childhood was there until I was probably about, I say, 20 years old, pretty much. I hadn't seen like a physical beach or sand until I was 20.
Wow.
You know, so I was in the concrete for real. And growing up at that time was, I wasn't in one of those families where it was like super hard knock, even though I had like the whole odors and noodles lifestyle and the keeping your hands warm in the oven thing. But my parents worked really hard. And when my dad got home, you know, my brother was born, my parents worked really hard for what they did. And I think they did an amazing job to give us a platform to be comfortable, to become what this is. And so I credit my parents just basically because they've become the best versions of themselves at what they did. And I don't fault them for not looking further. Some kids would be like, oh, mom and dad, why didn't you go live out here? And no, you know, I'm not going to do that. But they gave me a platform to be comfortable, to fall back on if something were to happen. I just took it to the second power and I made it into something greater. And it's about owning my own. And so at around about 20, I decided to leave Baltimore. I go to San Diego where my aunt and uncle live at. I just out of nowhere just said, yo, I got to get away from Baltimore. Like, it just wasn't for me. I wasn't going to grow. And then a year later, I joined the military at 20, going into 21. So I served 8 years in the Air Force, been to 42 countries.
Whoa, did you say 42?
42. I'm in a lot of places.
I'm so impressed by that because, you know, with me playing tennis, I traveled a lot and I've been to definitely over 40. I think I'm around there too, 42, 45 countries. And it's rare to find people who have been to that many countries. So I'm like super impressed by that. That's awesome. Yeah. What was your favorite place to go?
Oh my
Give me your top two favorite countries.
That's so hard.
I know it's hard.
I'll go with one that like changed my dynamic. I love Germany because it created my whole platform to become who I am now.
Okay.
There was like, okay, foreign country, new things, learning new languages, but I relied on my talents to break out my shell. So Germany did a lot for that. Man, it's just so hard for like okay, I'm going to just ride with Colombia right now.
Okay.
Only because Colombia was like horseback riding. We went to these, the coffee beans on top of this mountain. I mean, having Colombian coffee on the top of a mountain is so dope. And I was staying in Pablo Escobar's mansion. It's crazy. We did a documentary on his brother, Roberto Escobar. So that was such a sick trip. But
wow.
Yeah, I mean, it just the military, I credit a lot for it. You know, I had 3 deployments, 2 in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan. It's just a lot, man, I've gone through. And then to get out of that, to go to Florida, which I run into you in Orlando.
Yes, okay, you know? Orlando.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I lived a lot of lives. I have. And I've just been one of those kind of people that I absorb everything that comes my way that's brand new, that's different. And I implore other people to absorb new information. There's just no such thing as learning enough. There's no such thing. So I keep that in mind and I continuously learn from other people, picking up different languages. I speak a couple different languages. It's really cool. You know, now I can come to Baltimore and I can speak to Koreans because I lived in Korea, you know, and I'm like, "Annyeonghaseyo, chudadeseyo." And they're like, what? Because they don't know. They don't expect people from the hood to talk like that. So it's cool, man. It's great. It's great.
So question kind of to like piggyback off of that, you know, what advice would you give to somebody who has never left their city, who's never traveled anywhere before? Like, what would you tell them to do? I mean, clearly you want to tell them to travel, but why? Why would somebody who kind of has more of a narrow mind, who thinks, oh, yeah, I'm cool where I'm at, like, what would you suggest that they do? Well,
it starts with the first step. Please get your passport, first and foremost. One of the first steps, legally, obviously. But
yeah,
what happened for me as a young man growing up in the city, living in the hood, like, if I didn't leave my city, if I didn't leave my territory, my daughter, my family wouldn't have the eyes to see more and what life has in store. So it took for me to be the leader behind that and to plant my seeds everywhere. But furthermore, it's more about educating yourself on different cultures and absorbing those great things. I like to learn from people's mistakes. And I learn from a lot of people's mistakes around the world. And I sit around great-minded people to make sure I don't make the errors they made but also sit in amongst the greatness. And there's nothing wrong with that. People call it like, kissing ass or being a hater, or whatever. That's, come on. It's really about taking what you've learned and bringing it back and instilling the people that you have been around, because they haven't seen what you've seen. So, I'm kind of going back to my neighborhoods, and just right now I had a couple of friends of mine that my brother has, they looked at me and was like, yo, Q, I don't want to work this job no more. I love what you're doing with your family business. I want in. And, these are young black men that are like on the streets, squeegee boys that people are afraid of, that make probably maybe $4 or $5 just washing windows on the corner. So I told my dad, I said, yo, let's hire them in as temps, but let's give them full-time work. And they go home with $100. They made more money in a day than most jobs will ever give them for a week.
So there's legit, and I'm saying this because I have never seen that. There's legit squeegee boys in Baltimore who because I see that when I go to Mexico. I see that when I go to other countries where they're like, you're at a stoplight, they're like pouring water on your car, assuming the sale. Right. And they just start cleaning your car. And then you're like, no.
Right. But it's just, obviously they try to, they try to bank on empathy. But, I'm the kind of guy, I'll pull out the car, like, yo, what's going on?
They look young.
And more than likely what's happening, these kids are like between the ages of 11, I'll say 10, I met a 10-year-old. 10 is 16. And they're on their own. Their father's nowhere to be because more than likely he's incarcerated or he's dead. And their mom are working 2 to 3 jobs.
Wow.
So I know that life. But if it wasn't for me traveling and seeing so many different things and learning from other cultures and other businesses, I wouldn't be able to give the knowledge that I gave this young man. And now look at it now. Now he's working with us, he's making a couple $100 a week, and he's able to provide money for his mom. They can keep the lights on at the house. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about that. And it's about bringing that knowledge back to where you come from. Regardless, people can have their own insinuation for it, but me, I'm just never going to be a black man with a bunch of money that's like, I'm good. I ain't worried about anybody else. Hell no, man. No, I'm giving it back to the younger minds so they can spark the minds for the next generation. Sounds cliche, but that's exactly what's supposed to happen. People aren't taught. And it's like, you have to teach that habit, because I don't want the person to be pulling up being afraid of these kids. These kids are hungry. They don't know what else to do. And what they end up doing, they end up selling drugs. You know what I'm saying?
I'm impressed that they're actually out there doing something like that, working, because, we always hear, what do kids do when they don't have, a father in the house, they don't have structure. Then they lean towards gang life, lean towards that street, life, because they don't have that structure. But these kids are actually out there working. So like, it was really awesome that you gave them that opportunity, because beyond the work, you're teaching them life skills that they'll be able to use, the idea of creating your own business, because they got the work ethic.
Right.
So right. That's powerful.
And we're also even, I talked to my dad, we're going to start doing these weekend classes to try to get people certified. We do safety classes every week about proper PPE and eyewear, but also teach them how to lay concrete, how to tow, hitches. These skills that schools charge for, we're going to give them for free. My father has over 40 years of experience in it. So I told my dad, just be the teacher, I'll bring the students. Now they get certified, we can certify them on the work that we're doing. And guess what? They can take that work home with them. And they can start their own thing. You know what I mean? Or they can help out their own families. That's what it's about, man. It's just that people don't care enough. But it takes people like myself and you and others so we can care about passing knowledge like this, to individuals. So that's my mission. That's what I'm going to do, man, until the day I die. It's all a teaching thing from this point,
Sounds like we got to collaborate more.
Yeah.
Because, my mission is, helping people who maybe are struggling when it comes to like, landing their dream job, or they don't know how to brand themselves and have like that professional exterior, and kind of making their LinkedIn solid and everything with mindset. But like, I'm like, these are gentlemen who probably don't have any of that set up.
Right.
So that resource, that knowledge, and just through these classes and things is so powerful, because that knowledge is so transferable. They now have that skill set that they can teach somebody else, because so many people, like you said, don't have any idea, and they're not even taking advantage of a lot of the free knowledge that's available on like YouTube and things. But we need to be able to help them.
Of course, because they don't know how to do it. It's not enough people that care enough to have the patience to teach them how to do things. So You know, that's why I told my dad, you know, I told my brother, you know, I told my brother, bring in your friends, man. You know, I see these guys, man, and they come to me and they look up to me and they're like, yo, you're in LA, you're working with these. I see you with Tyrese, I see you with Rico Love, I see you with, and I'm like, man, listen, yo, you can do the same thing, but let's focus on what you want to do and what you love to do. And let's focus on how you can become a better person. And it's just there. And a lot of them guys need a lot of love, a lot of attention, and leadership. So I'm not going to sit back on the wayside and be like, nah, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm living here in LA and I'm in Baltimore. Nah, man. That never been Quron's mentality. And I don't mean to speak myself in the third person. But everybody that know me, straight up, know that ain't me, man. Like, I love people. I love people and I love helping people be better. That's what it's about. It's about we're supposed to help one another. The grand purpose of this planet, of us being on this planet, is to help the next person. And if we do that, everybody ain't got to go through what we're going through. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
that's so true.
yeah.
I think that we all want to know, how did you even get involved in the filmmaking, in the music? Like, where did that begin? And kind of where, like, what was the one thing that led to, I mean, everybody's like, you're just an overnight success. Ha ha. Overnight success.
Holy
Years
smoke.
of grinding.
Man.
And like, what was that thing that for you that was the thing that kind of led you to all of these opportunities that you've been blessed? Because it's truly a blessing, you know, your work.
I'm thinking about it now, and I'll tell you this. It was probably the day I first seen and met Pharrell. Like, if anybody that knows me knows that I love me some skateboard P, yo. Pharrell is like, that guy is my hero. Like, he's my hero. He is what I see Superman as, okay? Greatest shining example of a leader to me. And so I met him in Germany when I was in the military. And long story short, I was the only one in the crowd with a BBC ice cream t-shirt. And I took my shirt off and I'm waving it in the crowd. I'm like, yo. And he sees my shirt and he's like, yo, that guy's like day one fan. Points at me, pulls me on stage. And the moment that happened, he's like, you speak English? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yo, I'm from the DMV. What's up, man? I was like, yo, I know you better than you know yourself. And he laughs. He's like, what? He said, okay, I got something for you. He calls over and he gives me a microphone. He said, yo, we're going to rock out the whole night. This is on YouTube. I swear to you, I have the video footage.
Yo, we're about to link that into the because
and
that is powerful.
You'll see me with this black t-shirt with the red cherry man face and these light blue jeans, and I'm like going crazy on stage. But it was the time where NERD dropped Seeing Sounds and the song Spaz dropped. But 10 seconds before was the longest 10 seconds of my life, and I felt God himself was right there. And the moment Pharrell was like, you speak German? I was like, yeah, you know. And I was like, yo, can you just say, yo, this is NERD? You know, he said, what's up? This is NERD. And so I'm like, was geht up, Deutschland? And they went crazy. And the lights went over, and Big Man was like, yo, son, this is what I'm going to give you. This is who I'm going to bring you around. But I'm going to let you taste it tonight. But you're going to bust your butts to get back here. I mean, I'm going to drag you through the worst thing ever. And so that night was the greatest night of my life. I performed on stage with my hero. I even predicted it a week before, and everybody thought I was crazy on bass. But you'll notice that a lot of my following is a lot of my military friends, and they stick by me because they know I speak things into existence. I'm all about speaking things into existence. And if anybody's watching and listening, please, if you can think it and say it, it's going to come in fruition. Facts. Flat out, you're looking at a byproduct of it. So what got me in the film world was because I seen that. I was so hungry for it. But I tell people I live my life like how Job. My life is like how Job lived. And if you're anyone that listens to, you know anything about the story of Job in the Bible, he had everything taken from him. And so, you know, when I was in Miami those first 6 months, that you probably don't know, I was living in my car, yo. Straight up. I was under the 836 underpass. I can tell you exactly where I was at, in the fashion district. For real. For real. I was sleeping between there and on, the Biscayne Bay Bridge. I would go over the Key Biscayne to sleep over there. And, you know, most people would think that, oh my God, you were in your car? Oh my, but to me, coming out of the military after everything I've been through was the greatest freedom. I would wake up 5 in the morning. I'd go to the gym. I would get my shower there every day. I had an LA Fitness gym membership. So I would work out, of course, and shower. So that's how I kept clean.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always had the coin laundry, but I would go to Starbucks around 6, charge my gear up from 6 to 7:30, have my coffee, do my edits, have my notes. And then by 8 o'clock, I'm out. And I'm working with people like Rico Love, French Montana, and they had no clue.
They had no idea.
None. And I dare not ask them. But sometimes I would stay in their homes, and there's like, you know, mansion homes and lofts. I was in some nice stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the reality of it was when I was done, it's back in my car. But it was the hunger and the desire to be great. That's what kept me going. And so I gutted it out for 8 months until I worked myself to getting my own place and then having a loft. I went from that to having a loft in Miami.
I got to ask you this though, but wait. Where did this grit, this hustle, this mindset come from? Because this is a mindset podcast, and so many of the listeners on here are searching for that. They have negative thoughts, or they don't know they don't know what to do. Like, how can you give any advice of like how you were thinking that way, what caused you to think that way? That would really help people.
Absolutely. A lot of we're our worst enemy when it comes to doubting ourselves. And I'm not going to say I act like I'm perfect. I'm not going to say I act like I just had it and I just walked out that way. But, you know, I kind of looked at myself when I had a former roommate. The reason why I was living in my car is because I had someone that was a roommate that I found on roommates.com. This person stole everything from me.
Ooh.
I had nothing but a suitcase, my laptop, and my camera. And I kind of looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, Quron, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Q? What's next? And a lot of what you're going to have to do in dealing with believing in yourself is just digging deep and asking yourself the purpose. If your purpose is right, if your faith is right, if you're in the right alignment and what you're doing is within great intent, everything's already mapped out for you. Everything's already mapped out for you. It's just taking it a step at a time, a day at a time. Not thinking like, oh my God, but I got to pay this bill. Oh my God, but they're going to do this. Yo, shut all that. Excuse my language. Shut all that shit out. You have to shut it all out. Like, you just have to sit here and tell yourself that there are so many distractions. Cut it all out. Get it done. What you love, get it done. Just get it done that day. Just do it that day. Small victories matter.
Yeah.
Small victories. And all those small victories I had from day in to day out, y'all got to understand, man, I slept between the back seat and the trunk of my car, yo. So day in and day out, I wasn't fitting to quit because I was tasting victory every day. I'm working with this person and I'm working with that person. And they're like, damn, Q, your work is so dope. Can I get him Rico? And it was from Rico to French Montana. And it was from French Montana to Pretty Ricky. And it was from that to Trina. And the next thing you know, I got all of Miami on lock. But it's my effort.
Fired up hearing you.
Fuck this shit. It was like, forget all of it. I'm fitting to go all the way in. They're getting their content the next day. I was always a step ahead of the game because in my mind, nobody was going to outwork me. Nobody. People would say, well, Q, you're doing film work. Everybody does videos. And I'm like, so you're not going to outwork me. You're never going to outwork me, ever. And that was what it was. It was my fire for me saying, okay, cool, he can do that, but I'm going to have this done that's going to be better than his. Not to be cocky, but just because of the simple fact, I'm telling myself that. And that's what got me to go every day. You're going to have your moments. I've had them. Tons of them. When I tell you I lived like Job, yo. I had everything lost. Everything. Nothing. Couldn't even eat a couple days. I lost a lot of weight. And I knew in my heart and in my mind what I was doing. And then my daughter on top of it was the greatest fuel on the planet. It was just like, I'm not fitting to let her live like this. No. So if you have children or people to live for, that's another thing that's going to keep you alive. That have something to fight for. And just that right there. Have something to fight for. If it's your parents, your family, keep that in your mind every day. Look at yourself and say, I'm doing this for me, but I'm also doing this for fill in the blank. Tell yourself that. Tell yourself straight up. You ain't going to lose. You cannot lose. How can you lose when you came here with nothing? How? That's what I told myself. How can I lose when I came here with nothing? There's no way I'm losing. Hell no. And I carried that attitude in LA, and they love me in LA for that.
Yeah, because LA, from what I hear, I've been to LA a lot for tennis. I've been there a little bit, but to actually be like an artist or an entrepreneur in LA, I heard it's crazy because everybody's doing it or they're trying to do it. So it's like to go out there and to really be unique and separate yourself has got to be very difficult. So that mindset that you had was the one thing that kind of pushed you through, right? Like that was it.
Yeah, and may I add that in all the 42 countries I've been, I don't think no city is touching the mental difficulty of Los Angeles.
The mental difficulty of the
I put my right hand to that. I've been everywhere in the world.
Elaborate.
Los Angeles is probably the most mentally difficult place to ever live and be successful at. I've never faced anything more difficult than that. Because it's not because everybody is doing it. That's the surface part. But what you're dealing with are people that control the mentality and the entertainment of the planet there. All of the best of the best of the best of the best are there. Whatever it is that you're inspired by, LA created it. Whatever movie it is, whatever song it is you like, LA inspired it. I'm not saying it came from there, but a lot of what is produced is from there. So you just can't come up in there and just be like, yo, I can do this and do that. And they're going to be like,
let me check your resume.
Add and then some. They're just going to be like, all right. You kind of have to be a very special creature to survive first in that place. And I think what God put me through made me ready for that city. Because, the reason why I bounce back and forth is I love LA. I love it a lot. But I take it in doses. I live there. I have my apartment there. But I leave every couple months and come here. I need that reality. Some things in LA it just doesn't, it's real, but you look at it and you're like, it feels so perfect. Everything feels so right. So maybe for me, as militant as I am and just growing up in pressure, I don't like when things are perfect. That makes me feel weird. I like to kind of
be on edge a little bit.
Wall,
behind you a little bit.
Give me some of that. Give me some of that. My back on the wall. I like that. I love that. Q, you sure you can get? Yeah, I can get what? Yes. So that's the mental capacity that you have to have because they're gonna throw everything at you, man. So that's without over elaborating. It's like LA is just a special place. Be prepared when you want to go work and live out there. Be very prepared.
It breaks a lot of people. It breaks a lot of people. That place is like a very Miami is very transient too, but LA, since everybody's going there to make it, it breaks a lot of people.
It breaks everybody.
It breaks everybody.
Every I don't care how strong you are. Everybody. I had to go to the Colorado Rockies to get my mind right because I was there too long. Everybody. I'm strong-willed, okay? Now I know. I'm like, all right, I get it. I get LA now. I kind of got to do my thing and
get out.
Do it and roll out. And then you miss it and then you come back and you go get it. It's like this special fuel. Like LA's like this beautiful woman, or to women like this amazing, handsome man that like everybody desires. But you have the opportunity to have this time with him or her. And when you have that time, you don't want to overstay your welcome. So you want to be as presentable and prepared as possible, but make sure you bring the best outcome so you can make him or her the best version of that person. And he or she will give you that back. That's LA. That's
a great analogy.
That's LA, yo. That's LA.
Wow. Yeah. So what's next for you? What do you got coming up? Is there anything big you're working on? I know you like to make moves in silence. You're like me. You like dropping stuff like boom, it's done.
Yeah.
Like let's talk about this for a second. With everything happening with COVID-19, how did that change or alter, what you got going on, or did you use that as a catalyst for other things?
I decided to not lay down. As a filmmaker, it was my responsibility to document and to catch what's real at what's happening. So I have a documentary that I'm making for COVID-19 that happened specifically in LA. I wanted to go to a lot of different places, but per my family, they said, don't do that. And I said, okay, fine. So no problem. But I have a documentary that I'm doing for that. But it just ended up happening that we rolled into a civil rights movement.
Oh, yes.
Quickly after. And I have documentation with that as well. So I'm going to try to tie both of those together. So I'm working on, me and my team are working on that. I'm very grateful, very fortunate to, I prayed to have a film team, and now I have a film team. I got my own crew. I'm so proud of these guys, man. They're great, great guys. Jonathan, Matt, AJ, great film guys. I got my solid team with them. So we're going to do a lot of really cool things, putting that together. And, on the music side, I'm always making music, but I'm always like with it, because the people that know I do music, that know I play the piano, that know I play the sax, they know that if I'm going to put out something, it's going to be like this. So I have 2 albums done already. I'm just strategically giving it time to build, and I want people to understand me a little bit more before I put the music out. That's not just because I'm sensitive, but again, I told you, if you can't hear it, if I can't hear it, I can't see it. So I want you to hear it and see it and understand the translations of what I'm making. So I have this album that I created, and they're soundtracks, but I'm basically gonna make a short film for each record. So there'll be different aspects of my life that was inspired. Like there's a song that I did that's got a really fast-paced race car vibe, and and when I was young, in my teen years, I was into Fast and Furious, street racer vibe, and I made a song that I always thought about racing a circuit race in the desert. So I'm gonna definitely put that out. So I'm kind of giving you guys a little bit of it, So there's a lot of great music. I got my Quincy Jones on that album. I brought in a real live band. There's Grammy award-winning musicians that are a part of it. So I just have to give it in doses. There's a lot that I want to put out, but doses. But the music is like, that's here. That if I put out music, it's like it's coming from here, So yeah, there are some things, but I like to be silent like you, yo.
Yes.
Like my man Lil Wayne say, like the what do you say, like the G in lasagna?
Yes, something like that. I don't know. I'm the same way. Like, I don't like to speak always about everything that's going on, because as we know, there are people out there who are secretly trying to tear that down. And I only put stuff out there. I'm always putting it out there to myself, manifesting, but I don't let other people in on that, because I can't affect that energy. That energy's got to stay positive only.
Facts. And it's just like, and look, taking a light off of me, I'm throwing it back at you. I love this shirt, by the way, the Sade shirt.
I wore it because of this conversation. I knew you have a strong music background. We're Sade fans in this house.
Oh my God. I'm sitting here looking at this shirt. I'm like,
back and do a concert. I would pay any amount of money to be there.
She's so special.
Any amount of money to be there.
So special. I love that shirt. Love the vibe with it and everything. I love your place.
Thank you.
I love everything that you're doing, man. I'm so proud of you, Danielle. Like, I'm so proud of you, man. I really am. Like, I'm rooting for you so heavy. There's a lot that the world and God is going to bless you with. Everything coming your way, man. So everyone knows I'm such a grateful person. And I'm grateful to have met you and to have this happen right now, because we're both having the same mission. We're bringing on the same kind of things. And all we want to do is just empower other people to be encouraged, to spark the energy, to get them to get what they need to get to. So, man, this is amazing. This is amazing. So, I'm here for it. I love conversation. I love conversation.
You love conversation. I love it too. And you said something powerful that I want to reiterate: taking massive action. That's the one thing that I am all about. That was like my goal of 2019 was to take massive action, and it hasn't stopped really. Like, you never stop taking massive action. It just keeps happening.
Yeah.
Because there's always something that you could be doing. So I always have this, I don't know if you had this when you were in the military, but me, from my tennis background, I always had moments where I felt like, oh, I probably shouldn't go to this party or do this fun thing because I have to work harder. Like, I'm not ready. Like, I don't deserve it. So I keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And even now that, like, I'm doing well and stuff, I still have this itch. Like, I got to keep going. It's not enough. Like, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's like that hustle,
Right. May I give you, if you don't mind my perspective?
Sure.
Okay. Because you're such a hard worker and you're a hustler like me. This is something Damon Dash taught me. And spend time for yourself. He says, great-minded people like ourselves, we want to always go and get it, go and get it, go and get it. But what we don't do is allow ourselves time to relax. If you could pick one day out of the week, it doesn't have to be Sunday, any day out of the week, spend it for yourself. And for anybody that's listening to, when you first get up in the morning and do what you're supposed to do those normal things, but you need time. Spend about 2 to 3 hours to just think. Don't block your mind from it. Shut the phone off, put it away, put all the distractions away, and just think and relax and think and prepare your mind and cleanse your mind of the things that are clouded in your brain. Write them down, the things you have to do. You know, I listen to meditation music more than ever now. Even when I drive.
Share it with me, for sure.
I listen to orchestra, a lot of symphony music, things that doesn't have lyrics. Because I'm so saturated with music, I just need my brain to kind of just go. And it's healthy. It's healthy because it allows you to go, oh yeah, I have to do this. Yeah, that's right. You know, and make these mental notes for yourself. Oh yeah, oh, that's right. I gotta, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for you, Danielle, because you're powerful and what you're achieving right now is so massive, have that notepad by you. You know, even it's beauty in writing. You know, I look. I keep pens and, you know, I mean, you know, I color stuff down now. It's beautiful, but it's crazy. It's wild. Damon Dash taught me that when I was working with him. And he's like, yo, your mind is powerful. It's great. Slow down. Spend the time for your day to just don't do a lot of work. Just think. Write down what you need to write down when it's done. Relax.
I like that. I like
a boss needs to relax and just get their brain refreshed. It's done great wonders for me. Great wonders. You know, it's allowed the business that we have right now to be fruitful, my film business to be fruitful, and everything else that we got going on, you know. I mean, I even have some new stuff going on now. I got another thing we're actually developing. I call it Shadoobie. So
what's that?
It's patent, guys. Shadoobie is a funny little word that I came up with my brother, but this is my brother's personal business that we're building, and no one likes to clean up their own dog poop. Let's be real, right? So what I created a business idea to help clean up dog feces and stuff like that in apartment complexes and even personal homes, and even have a body cam for the guys that are picking up the dog poop, so that way the client could be like, you know, oh, okay, they're in the yard. Yep, they're picking up for the day. And we send you a text, you know, we send you a ping in the app. I have an app that's in development right now for it that'll ping you and let you know that, oh, okay, the guys are out there to clean up the dog poop. Because I've noticed a lot of people in my neighborhood are getting fines for not cleaning their dog mess, because nobody wants to pick up dog poop. So I'm like, okay, I got that. I got you.
Business opportunity. Let's do it. And the name is genius.
Shadoobie. Come on, how cool is that? So yeah, man. Shadoobie will be fully functioned by. My goal is to get it by 1 October this year. We're just getting a lot of legal stuff taken care of right now, but it'll be fully operational for sure. And I'm going to actually include that within our lawn package and everything. So
that is awesome. I have a dog and I don't enjoy doing it either.
Now, come on. And you don't need to do that. I got you, yo. I got you, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Would the concept be like the Shadoobie contractors? Would they be kind of like Uber-esque, where it's like all like with a 1099, so like they can just sign up on the app and
all 1099, and I'm gonna make it a national thing. It's not just a Baltimore thing, but anybody can do it. You can get on the app, sign up on the app, and you could just, okay, yeah, I want to definitely do this, and we'll have certain areas for certain contractors, and I'll make sure that people that are in certain states will just, you know, abide by certain laws. But once you contract the apartment complexes, boom, each person has their own responsibility to do it. You just have to be on top of doing that. But the app will cut you in on it. So you're right. It's almost like Uber. You're taking matters in your own hands. But you're doing it like, and it's great, man. It's just a great way to make extra money for certain people, for young kids. Older people are just like, yo, I don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody loves dogs, you know?
Wow.
So,
that is awesome.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff I got going on, man. I just want to spread greatness to people, you know. So I'm just excited. I'm excited. You already know me, Danielle. I'm too hyped, man. I'm too hyped about a lot of stuff. So
Me too. I'm so hyped too because I feel like there's such an opportunity right now. And like, yes, everything that's going on with the civil rights movement
oh
of
my Lord.
2020, it's very heavy and very deep. But I feel like the efforts of everyone can really create what we need. Like we're the closest we've ever been, I feel like.
What? Did you see what's happening right now?
Yeah.
You got oh my Lord. I was telling my brother, I was like, yo, Uber Eats is doing a special to where they're featuring Black-owned businesses. I told my dad, I said, hey, Pops,
Get on there.
it's like Black-owned businesses. Yes, it's not a trendy thing, and it should be a trendy thing, but it's like we're putting it on the map to let people know that, you know, Black-owned businesses are amazing, and we work just as hard. And I hate the stigma that it's a weird stigma going around that, like, oh, well, when Black people do work, they don't do a good job. No, hell no. That's what? No, absolutely not. No, 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 no. In fact, great hard work, same thing. It's just the concept has been misconstrued based on the media, and I don't want to walk into that whole conversation. So that's why I'm grateful for you and your platform, because we're able to talk about this.
Yes.
You know, it's beautiful. Uber Eats, you got DC that has a whole street with Black Lives Matter. Like companies, Call of Duty, the video game. Every time you load the game up, it says Black Lives Matter. And it has a whole paragraph as to why it matters. I was like, whoa.
Educating the youth. Like we
Whoa.
need to educate the
Whoa.
youth. Because from what I'm seeing, I don't know if you're seeing this too, the younger people, that's not their mentality. It's obviously it's trained, it's, you know, it comes from generations, but the younger mentality, the younger kids, they're not, if we can just get them right, it will be different. I hope.
Yeah. And no, it's happening. It's happening now. And it's instilling younger minds. You got young kids that are going to their parents like, yo, this is crazy that's happening. And there's videos out there and the parents are like, well, I don't, and they're like, no, it's beautiful. So, you know, I made a post a couple of weeks ago about how little change is happening, but I'm going to take that post back because the change is actually happening greater than I've ever expected.
Or lived through.
Yeah, it's such a big breakthrough. So many people, and I'm so grateful for that, you know. So, I know a lot of my followers know I'm very heart-stern. I do stand on my word, and I never regret what I say because I make sure I know what I'm saying before I say it.
Right.
But there should be no fear in telling people how you feel, but being respectful about how it's being conveyed.
Correct.
So, and I make sure of that in everything that I say, because I'm going to have confidence behind what's being said. So, this is amazing. The 2020 Civil Rights Movement. Can you believe it? Like what, 60?
I spoke it, and that's the first time that I said it out loud. Like talking to you just a couple minutes ago, I was like, the Civil Rights Movement of 2020. Like I've never, it's like,
whoa, we watched our parents go through that, and they were our age or younger.
Exactly. And then like when we're watching these movies, like Selma, The Butler, like these are movies, and you see like people protesting, and then they're, don't go protest, it's dangerous, and like it's happening, and it's like we're in it now, and it's like that thing, like do you go, do you not go, what's happening? Like this is the same thing.
Yeah, and so that's why I documented it. That's why I went out there with my camera. I have pictures and stuff. I'll release it later, but that's why I went and documented it, because it has nothing to do with clout. I'm not a clout person. It's just, yo, real history is going down physically right now. And it's just being a part of that, not just being a part of it, just say, oh, I was there. No, it's the message that's happening. It's sickening. It's so hurtful that just Black people are being misinformed, degraded, it's not, yes, we get it. We get the all live. Yes, we get all that. But what we know, what's happening right now, we do know for a fact that the Black lives are being completely mistreated, and they're being misled and misconcepted, and the movies have been misportraying it. Let's be real. It has been misportrayed. I shouldn't go. When I was in Belgium, and I had tattoos on my arm, you know, just these tattoos right here, and they're like, oh, and they're touching my arms, you know, and they're like, and I've been in third world countries. They're like, what? They haven't seen tattoos on people, you know. I'm in the mountains in Tokyo, in Japan, and that same thing. And it's just like, they're very foreign to it, but they shouldn't look at black people and be like, NBA player, athlete, like, you know, it shouldn't be that. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're business owners,
engineers.
What? I don't even want to go into that whole thing. You know?
You're gonna have to come back. You're gonna have to come back.
Yeah, it'll be another episode. But it's beautiful, and the change is happening faster.
Really fast, because we have social media, we have live time updates that nobody had before us.
Correct.
And it's so powerful to see that it's like
it's beautiful.
Every day it's hard to keep up with it. It's like nonstop.
And you have all races of every color and every shade, every gender, of every different type fighting the same fight. How beautiful is that? Before it wasn't that way. It was very little. But this is amazing. I mean, so amazing. So I'm grateful that we're living in these times, and what we're doing right now is empowering more people. And that's all I'm about, man. That's all I'm about. That's all I'm about. I'm just about that. And everybody gonna know until the day I leave this earth, yo, Q, he stayed true to what he was. Yeah, man. Money or not, doesn't matter. This is me.
This is you.
You know, so I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for what we got going on.
No, well, definitely. Thank you so much, Q, because you being on here today has really enlightened me, and you taught our listeners so much. Yeah. Can you let everybody know, like, how they can get in touch with you, how they can follow you, how they can stay attached to what you have going on?
Absolutely. I go by Q the Rebel. That's Q the Rebel. QTHE Rebel, not spelled weird. Exactly how you say it. The letter Q, the Rebel, for everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Quron Witherspoon, but you'll type in Q the Rebel and you'll see my name there for everything. I call myself a rebel because my mom, when I was young, my mom always said, you always do things that you don't never, I tell you to do something, you always do the opposite. Yes, when everybody goes right, I go left. That's just how it goes. But
and it got you where you are today.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Can't doubt that. But Q the Rebel for everything. www.qtherebel.com. It has all of my video work, my film work, even has the other businesses that we own too as well. For Ron & Sons. If you're in the greater Baltimore area and you definitely want landscaping work done, concrete work, whatever it is that has to do with your yard or your home, please, Ron & Sons, we got you. You can definitely contact me on my social. I got your back. And on top of that, if you are watching this and you're in the greater Baltimore area and you do mention that we're on this podcast, you're like, yo, I see you on this podcast with Danielle. I'm going to give you 15% off. That's basically your first cut and a half for free.
Dang, that's powerful right there. We like that.
I'm with it. Let's go. I'm with it because I'm about helping people, yo.
Well, thank you so much for being on today. Is there one last message that you'd like to leave our listeners with before we sign off?
Yes. Please do not give up on what you love to do. I know you're sitting at home. I know you're thinking to yourself, like, you know, I heard this and this is powerful, but I don't know what to do next. You notice when you take that step, watch this. It's the thought of doing this. So train your mind into telling your mind to say, let me take the first step. Take the first step, please, please. Because once you do that, you're going to notice that, oh, wow, it's not that bad. Get out of the box. If you're in the box, get out of it. Get out of it. Because I'm telling you, it's an illusion. It's all an illusion. Have faith in who you are and what you do. And as long as your intentions are great and positive and in the right place, and it gives greater purpose, and you have something to fight for, you're never, ever going to lose. You cannot lose when you have nothing. I don't mean that physically, mentally, whatever. You can't lose because nobody knows who you are. But when you get the hell out there and let them know who you are and what you stand for, oh my Lord, nobody gonna tell you no. And don't leave until you get a yes, because that's how I got down. That's how I got where I got at, flat out.
Well, you guys heard it first. Thank you so much, Q. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Proud of you, girl. Till we meet again, yo.
Yes.
I'll be in Miami. I'll be in Miami in the next 2 weeks. We got to link up.
Absolutely. We definitely do, because it's been too long.
Yeah, it has. Shout out to Sasha, because she low-key kind of linked us for real. Sasha, the most beautiful girl in the world. I mean that not just physically, but in every aspect. It's my dog. Yo.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for this another episode of the Headstrong podcast. We're signing off. Until next week, thank you.
problem.